Natalie. My lips land on his, and I begin to devour him like a hungry beast. He doesn't push me away for a second, but then it feels like he snaps out of some kind of trance and shoves me away. I stumble on my feet, whining, reaching out to him once more. His hands on my waist turn me around, my back hitting his hard front.
Well, well, well. Are not you too young to be roaming around here?
He whispers close to my right ear. I gulp my saliva, the taste of expensive wine plastered over my lips. It seems like I'm not the only one drunk here. I am an adult, I shoot back, struggling to release myself off his hot touch. A wave of heat rolls off my body, and I stop struggling. My head falls on his chest behind me, my back arching, and another moan falling out of my lips. I press my thighs together, my hands landing on his big hands to claw them away from me. His touch is not helping my situation. My mind is too gone to allow me to deal with this situation rationally.
Why are you so desperate, love?
His nose slides down my neck, sending shivers down my spine. I am... I try to speak, but words disappear from my mind when he pauses in the crook of my neck and inhales my scent deeply. I bite my lower lip between my teeth and suck in a sharp breath.
Can you even take me?
He purrs, his hands still encircling my waist, his thumbs running up and down my stomach in slow motion. I nod my head instantly. I'm not a virgin. I have had sex with Enzo before. Enzo. A lump forms in my throat, and I try to get away from the man behind me. But the moment he turns me around and smashes my back against the wall, hard, I forget about my boyfriend all over again. It's all heat fucking my mind. Through my hazy vision, I see the man leaning in before his lips collide with mine. The sheer force knocks the breath out of me. But I respond immediately. Wrapping my hands around his neck, I pull him closer and allow him to kiss me as hard as he wants. Without wasting any time, he forces his tongue in my mouth, tasting every inch of it. My hands disappear in his soft locks, tugging at them, while my lips try to match his intensity. He's rough with his moves, his lips stiff and his tongue invading. I feel his hard cock against my stomach, and I gasp in his mouth. This doesn't scare me, but makes me want him more. Another wave of heat travels down my body, making me press myself firm against him. I drag my hands down his chest, trying to unbutton his shirt with my trembling fingers. He pulls away with a cruel tug and growls at me, his right hand reaching out to my throat to cage it between his palm. He chokes me, not too harsh to cut the supply of my oxygen, but hard enough to make me moan in pleasure.
As much as I would like to tear this dress off and take you here, I don't think you will like it very much, love.
He whispers and picks me up. I yelp, coiling my arms around his neck and closing my eyes instinctively. Everything whirs past me, and right after a moment, I'm forced down on a soft bed. I choke on my breath when he hovers above me and pushes his lips on mine again. Then, he moves his lips away from mine and nuzzles down my neck, leaving tantalizing kisses down. He bites into the crook of my neck, where it meets my shoulder. A burning sensation claims a bitten spot as he swipes his tongue over it. I feel him panting against my skin, his chest vibrating with animalistic growls. I gasp when he suddenly pinches my hard nipples from over the dress. Without even warning me, he tears the dress off my body. My hands land on his shoulders, my body pressing against his. I let him remove the tattered dress completely. The scent of my arousal spreads across the room immediately, and it feels like I'm flooding with wetness already. He doesn't waste any moment in ripping off my panties and then my bra. His hungry lips reach out to my nipples, sucking, biting, nipping fast. My heart hammers against my ribcage as my body grows hotter by the moment. His finger runs down my swollen clit, and I mewl out loud.
That's good. So wet.
He murmurs against my nipple. I shiver under him before he presses down on me, making me moan out in his ear. His finger enters me savagely. My pussy clenches around his finger, and the throbbing of my clit becomes worse. My hands claw at his shirt, wanting his skin to be on mine. I push out a moan while unbuttoning his shirt hastily. He wraps a hand around my breast and begins to slide his middle finger in and out of me at a fast pace. My breathing becomes ragged, my chest burning with the effort to claim the oxygen I desperately need to survive. All of a sudden, he pulls his finger out of me and forces it in my mouth. I taste my own juice going down my throat as our eyes meet. His gaze turns dark, red flashing in his eyes. I suck on his finger, and he pulls it out of my mouth before closing his lips on mine. His hands work on his pants, unzipping them and pulling them down his legs as I hurriedly push his shirt off his shoulders. His skin feels rigid and hot under my fingers. Electric sparks erupt from every spot where our skin meets. The sensation drives me crazy and forces me to pull him impossibly closer. I attempt to drag my fingers down his chest, which feels a little bumpy when he abruptly turns me on my stomach. My hands clench the sheets. I gasp for air. A stinging smack lands on my butt cheek, making me bite my lower lip violently.
Bad girl.
He rubs my butt cheek.
Raise your ass in the air.
He hisses in my ear. The demand makes me become even more wet. I do as he says and force myself on my knees. His finger invades my pussy once more, going deeper this time. I moan loudly, my grip tightening around the sheets. A wave of heat passes over my body, causing me to press against his firm body. His cock brushes against my butt cheek, making my cheeks heat up. He penetrates me with another one of his fingers, stretching me out good. I gulp when he leans down, his chest rubbing against my back. His hand reaches out to my hair, tugging at them, until my scalp burns deliciously. My eyes land on the window in front of me. The light pouring in from that window is the only source of lighting in the room. He takes his fingers out of me and wraps his left hand around the front of my neck, pulling my head back at a weird angle. This makes it difficult to breathe, but the tingles which follow his touch don't allow me to protest.
I tried stopping you once, love.
He reminds me. I arch my back into his body, urging him to give me what I want instead of telling me all this. He parts my legs and thrusts his cock inside me. My mouth hangs open when he uses force to shove it completely inside. My walls stretch to their limit, an ache spreading in my lower abdomen.
Oh, so fucking tight.
His raspy voice purrs in my ear. My head spins. A scream of pleasure and surprise spills out of my mouth when he pulls out and thrusts his cock back inside. The size of his cock threatens to tear me apart and fills me up to the hilt, hitting my cervix. My pussy feels unbelievably filled. I sink my fingers into the mattress. His grip tightens around my throat, black dots appearing in my sight. I hungrily pant. Moans fall off my lips without any control as he thrusts in and out at an inhumane pace. I begin to wither due to the light pain in my lower parts and the lack of oxygen in my body. He fucks me relentlessly, dominating every inch of my body and claiming my breath as well. His growls and grunts fill the room, mixing with my low moans. The bestial noises sound like a perfect melody to my ears, only arousing me stronger. His thighs meet the back of my thighs harshly, creating loud noises. Every stroke of his penetrates me deeper and makes me lose my sanity all over again. There comes a moment when I feel like I'm going to die with the overwhelming pleasure, and of course, the lack of oxygen in my lungs. My hands wrap around his hand on my neck and silently plead him to allow me to breathe. Fuck, I grunt when he loosens his grip around my neck. And then almost instantly, it grows tighter than before. Pressure builds inside me, the climax threatening to ripple out of me and destroying me in the way. Sweat coats my body all over. I scream, howl, as he rams inside me continuously without stopping or even breathing. His strength scares me, and it feels like he's never going to stop. Yet, it excites me at the same time, makes my insides clench. With another one of his monstrous thrusts, my insides contract around his thick cock. I yell in pleasure as the orgasm washes over me. That doesn't stop him. He pulls out for a mere moment, and then pounds back in. His hand releases my neck, permitting me to breathe, to survive. He begins to thrust faster than before, his hand disappearing into my hair this time. Overstimulation makes my insides hurt, but it's not enough to stop him. He continues to devour me, ruin me. My hands disappear in the sheets, searching for a spot to rest myself on. His balls slap against the back of my thighs at great speed, bruising the spot surely. With a fierce thrust, He releases a growl and pulls out of me abruptly. He releases his cum over my back and butt cheeks. I shudder, the world blurring around me. My ears are muffled, my brain too tired to keep me going. I breathe in relief, dropping on the bed.
Fuck. So good.
He grumbles, dropping beside me. I let go of the sheets and keep my eyes closed. My mind loses track of the surroundings, and eventually, I find myself falling asleep.